Welcome to day 3 of my 11-day cruise on board the Norwegian Prima. Welcome to Amsterdam. Norwegian Prima is just poking around the corner there. And luckily we're very close to Amsterdam city. Amsterdam is the second port of this cruise. Yesterday we were in Zeebrugge, Belgium. It didn't go to plan, go and watch the first video, but I'm so excited to be back in Amsterdam. I've been here a couple of times. So the cruise is on its way to Norway and Iceland, and it's gonna get very, very cold. But yesterday I got sunburned. I got sunburned on a cold cruise. But over there, that's a floating Chinese restaurant. If you're wondering why I don't have any excursions booked, I literally booked this cruise 2 days before the departure date. But the cruise started on Sunday and I literally booked it on Friday night, so I had nothing planned. It was literally a spontaneous thing. I saw it and I booked it so quickly. Amsterdam is special to me because there's a museum here dedicated to a guy that's one of my favorite people in history, and we're gonna go there later. I'll explain why I like him so much. But yeah, Amsterdam's really cool. I definitely add it to your travel list. It's not too sunny today, so I can take the hat off, but most of the passengers on the cruise are Americans, and a lot of them are from Florida. So I hope they're prepared for the cold weather that's to come, because yeah, a lot of people that I've spoken to, this is their first time in Europe. So no excursions today, definitely no public transport today after yesterday's disaster. But we're just gonna walk around the city, see what we find. Rule number 1 of Amsterdam is do not walk in the bike lanes. Absolutely, under no circumstances, don't do it. Because 1, the bikes won't stop for you. And 2, if they hit you, it's your fault. Don't walk in the bike lane. Here's another tip for my American friends. So yesterday, I met a mum and 2 daughters. They were from West Palm Beach, Florida. And one of the daughters was 21 years old. The other daughter was 18 years old. And they were both drunk. Okay? So, if you're 18 years old, you can drink on a cruise. So just because they can't drink at home in the US, they can drink on a cruise. So remember that before you cruise with your 18-year-old. I gotta make a dash across the bike lane. Gotta do it fast. So I met them last night in the casino. The casino is a crazy place. I play a little bit. I like to play the roulette, but some of the money people are losing at the casino is crazy. But this mum and 2 daughters, they kept winning and winning and winning, but they kept screaming. They were so happy, and then soon the whole casino was just watching them and being excited for them. It was so good. When you arrive in the Amsterdam cruise terminal, they're gonna give you a free map. And our first destination is over there. We're gonna go on the roof. The Norwegian Prima is looking beautiful. What do you think? Welcome to the Nemo Science Museum. Let's go on the roof. Just in the distance, we can see the beautiful Norwegian Prima. Amazing ship. It's only 2 years old. Most cities have the hop-on, hop-off bus. Amsterdam has the hop-on, hop-off boat. We are on the roof of the Science Museum. Cool. Just inside the restaurant, they do have a real life science museum here. It's really cool. I went in there before. We're not going to go in today, but really cool. Here is the restaurant on the roof. It just started raining, but there's a whole Amsterdam out there, so let's go and see it. So there is a fee to go inside the science museum, but you can come on the roof for free. Last time I was here, there was flowers everywhere. It was in the summer, so maybe they do that during the summer, but there is something in Amsterdam called the Amsterdam card, and it gets you access to so many attractions, and a lot of the places that we're going to go today, you can gain access with the Amsterdam card. There's 2 ways to get to the roof. So if you go to the right side, there's steps all the way to the roof, or if you go to the left side, you can go inside the museum. There's an elevator to the top. Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. Amsterdam has trams too. We're not going to talk about trams today after yesterday's disaster in Belgium. Just past the botanical gardens over there, and even the tram tracks are joining in with the theming. Everybody speaks English, but Holland is another country that has no signs in English. I love these instructions. If the water keeps running, smack the button a couple of times. So over here is a memorial to, I think it's Auschwitz. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I'm gonna put what this says in the description because it's very, very, very powerful. And as you can see, the glass is broken. So the artist wanted to break the glass, so he said that nobody should be able to see the blue sky perfectly ever again, because the world was not perfect at that time for those people. Go and read it in the description. I'm going to write it in the description. Go and read it. It's very powerful. It says that 140,000 Jewish people lived in the Netherlands, and after everything happened, only 5,000 returned. So everybody knows what happened to the rest of them. So sad. That memorial is in Werthelm Park, just across the street from the Botanical Gardens. Definitely go and see that if you're in Amsterdam. As soon as you arrive in Amsterdam, you'll notice a few negatives. One of them is trash absolutely everywhere. The streets are filthy. There's a few other negatives that I'll talk about later, but it's so sad that cities get ruined by simple stuff. When I mean simple stuff, it's stuff that you can fix. You know, there's absolutely no reason why the street should be dirty. Why do people put trash in the street? I don't get it. Look at these, Tesla. 2 Teslas. I wonder if they belong to the same people. Probably. Nice houses down here, reminds me of London. Amsterdam is known as the Venice of the North, like North Europe, because there's canals everywhere. And if you're wondering, do cars ever end up in the canals? Yes, they do. I remember reading that during the lockdowns, the canals in Venice and of course Amsterdam weren't being used. So they're very dirty because there's a lot of boats and whatever. But of course it started to clean up. And they found so many cars and bikes and other stuff in the canals because you couldn't see it when the river was dirty. All of these houses down here are very, very tall. And they all have like doors under the steps. And I remember when I was in Germany, I said the same thing. Can someone tell me why there's like small doors next to the main doors? And somebody told me that it's for the servants. So it goes, the small doors go down to like the servants' quarters. So I wonder if that's the same here. But I assume now they're like other flats or other apartments that are built down there. There's so many of these cool houseboats. I wonder how the price compares to a house. I'm sure it's much cheaper, but I wonder how much one of these goes for. There's so many of them. So with so many canals in the city, they need ways to cross the canal. There's over 1,250 bridges in Amsterdam, and this one is the most famous. This is the Skinny Bridge. No cars allowed, only bikes, pedestrians. When I saw it online, I thought it was going to be skinnier than that, but that is the Skinny Bridge. And over there, I just overheard a tour guide talking. So that is the Opera and Ballet House, and he said that Monet, the painter, he used to sit on the roof and paint on the roof of that. Amazing. Amsterdam is not too bad for the skinny roads. Venice has very, very skinny roads, but every house has flowers outside. And the canal is right there. If you think of Amsterdam, you probably think of the red light district. And we're entering the red light district right now. I don't actually know the story of why Amsterdam became known for that kind of stuff. I don't know. But Amsterdam's definitely not a kind of place that you want to be late at night. You don't want to be walking around. My first impressions, there's a lot of clothing stores, there's a lot of toy stores and museums. Here's an example. It's closed right now, but you can just imagine what goes on here at night. Red Light Secrets Museum. There are so many of these doors. Room for rent. On the other side as well. So many doors. Very, very interesting. Some of the sign says 180 euros. Yeah, I don't know what you get for that. The last time I was here, I remember these. It's like a vending machine. Look, there's burgers inside. Burgers. How cool is that? Sichuan Thai. I just walked down this side alleyway, and let's just say that the windows and doors are not empty down this street. Of course, I'm not going to show you anything in the video because of YouTube rules, and I know kids watch my videos, but it's not my kind of thing. It's not my kind of place, and yeah, I wonder, because there's like hotels here, there's people that live here. I wonder if people have booked hotels not knowing which area they're staying in, and then they end up walking around and seeing stuff. It's not nice. Don't bring your kids here. But there is a Dunkin' Donuts. Who knew? That thing is called De Dam, and that is the Royal Palace of Amsterdam. I don't know what royal connection that has. The royal family lives there, I don't know, but it's literally down the street from all of that stuff. What a bad place, what a bad location. Next to the Royal Palace is Madame Tussauds. Funny story, this morning when I was at breakfast at the buffet, I was talking to one of the waiters. I was like, what should I do in Amsterdam? And he was like, go to Madame Tussauds, you can see J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. It's a huge place. Maybe it is the royal residence. I have no data on my phone, so I can't look anything up. But this square is huge. I wonder if this is where they have the Christmas market. They should do it here if they don't. But I'm sure the royal family always leaves their home and gets a hot dog right there. I'm standing next to H&M using their free Wi-Fi. But the Royal Palace was built in the 17th century, and it was built for the Royal Palace of King Louis Napoleon. So it is a royal residence. Let's keep walking. I don't know if it's gonna rain. I can feel a few drops, but we have a few more stops in Amsterdam. All aboard, 5:30. It's currently 1:15. Do not be late. The ship will not wait for you. Yesterday someone was missing. Candy store. It's fishing for bikes. And all those bikes that he found. See, I told you, I don't just make stuff up. I do research. So many bikes and cars go into the canals. As you can see, the bikes are absolutely everywhere. It seems like everybody in Amsterdam has their own bike. I wonder if they just scrap those bikes that they find in the canal, or they try and find the owner. You got to be very, very careful of the bikes, but it definitely takes the number of cars on the road way down, because everybody rides a bike. So the roads are not that crazy, to be honest, but they would be if people didn't ride bikes and drove cars. So that is the Rijksmuseum. Yes, I did have to ask how to say it. Rijks. I hope I said it right. But yes, huge. So huge. You need a ticket to go inside. We're not going to go inside today, but the Amsterdam card can get you inside there. It's such a shame because there's a museum. And the last time I came here, there was a huge fountain here. It was massive. But I guess they're rebuilding it. Here is the Rijks Garden. You see it goes underground. It's massive. That's the museum. Please tell me whose idea was this. Look at this basketball court. Why would they not just make one court? Why have they got two halves like that, facing away from each other? Strange. If you're watching this and you speak more than one language, you'll understand that sometimes you listen to other people's conversations and you can understand, but they don't know that you understand. And it always happens to me because nobody expects that I can speak Chinese. And of course, whenever I travel, there's always Chinese tourists everywhere. So I just overheard these three Chinese girls having a conversation. They said, "Xia Yula," which means it's raining. And I said, "Ni wang ji ni de yusan ma," which means, "Did you forget your umbrella?" She just looked at me like, I was an alien or something. Yeah, it's so funny that people don't expect me to understand, but I do. Okay, so over there is the Rijksmuseum. I probably said it wrong, but right there. So now I'm going to talk about somebody who's one of my favorite people in history, and one of the most misunderstood people in history, I think. And I think that's why I like him, because one, he was an artist. Two, everybody thought he was crazy. Three, he died extremely poor. And after he died, his artwork started to sell millions and millions. But while he was alive, his artwork didn't sell. He was very misunderstood during his life, and he died in a horrible way. And it's just terrible now that his artwork started to make so much money after he died, because while he was alive, he had nothing. He died very, very poor. But imagine this. So you're sitting there, maybe you're on the street, walking down the street, and a crazy guy, you know he's crazy, he looks crazy. He asks you, "I'm an artist, can I do a painting of you? Can I do a drawing of you?" You would say no. Everybody would say no. So can you really blame everybody for casting him aside? It's difficult to say, because I think the same thing would happen now. Even if they're the greatest artist in the world, the most famous artist in the world, if they're crazy and nobody knows who they are, then everybody would say no. That is what happened to Vincent van Gogh. Some people say Van Gogh, but right here is the museum, the Van Gogh Museum. And I've been inside there, and it's one of the coolest things I've ever done, because you know, when people ask that question, if you could have dinner with 5 people dead or alive, who would it be? Van Gogh would be one of mine. He would definitely be one of my choices, because just such a misunderstood person. And like I said, he was so appreciated after he died. His paintings and his artwork made so much money after he died. But while he was alive, no one cared about him. Everybody thought he was crazy. Nobody gave him a chance. And he died with nothing. He died with nothing. He died so poor. He died as a peasant. And then after he died, he was so valuable. Well, he wasn't valuable anymore, but his artwork was valuable, and it's just so sad. But the same thing would happen today. You know, if a crazy person wanted to do some drawings or paintings of people in the street, everybody would say no. But they could end up being one of the most famous artists in the world. So, you know, it's just society. Society is sad, but there it is, the Van Gogh Museum. I 100% recommend you go inside there if you visit Amsterdam. One of the coolest things I've ever done, one of my favorite people in history. I loved what he represented, and I loved the lesson that it taught humanity. I mean, we haven't really learned the lesson because we still cast aside people for being crazy, or people that we think they don't fit into society or whatever, but he ended up being one of the most famous people ever. Definitely one of the most famous artists ever. But he has a whole museum here in Amsterdam. Definitely check it out, right next to the Rijksmuseum. Probably said it wrong again, but who cares. Right there, Van Gogh Museum. That dog understands Dutch. Definitely visit Van Gogh Museum. If you do anything in Amsterdam, go there. Please go there. Very, very fascinating place, fascinating man. And it's a sad story. Will we ever learn from it? No, we never ever will, because people get treated the same way today. You know. It is now 2 p.m. We have plenty of time to get back to the ship, and the ship docks right inside the city. I hate the ports and airports that are so far away from the city. We have one more destination in Amsterdam, then I want to go and eat cake. But I missed lunch yesterday and just had 2 dinners, so we might end up doing the same thing today. Fun fact, all of the traveling I've done, I've never ever been inside a Hard Rock cafe. Never. Fibo is that restaurant I showed you with the vending machine with the burgers inside, and here's a store that just sells ducks. How many do they sell? How do they stay in business? I wonder who lives in these big houses now. Very rich people, I think. And I read that, I think it's something to do with the banks. Like, there's a few streets that were owned by bankers, like very, very rich bankers, like right on the canal. Because the streets are so narrow, you see so many of these cars, the 2-seaters, they're so small. Look how small that is. All electric. They're absolutely tiny. I want one. I think they're so cool. Me too, me too. We are almost at our next destination. I've been walking for like 30 minutes. Too much walking for a holiday. But the next destination is probably the most famous place in Amsterdam. It's the #1 place where most of the tourists go to. But the Dutch people don't think it's all that. I remember seeing an interview with some Dutch people, and they were asked, what is the most overrated thing to see in Amsterdam? And they said, this place. And this is the Anne Frank house. And the way the Dutch people described it is, it's just a house. That's what they said. They said, why is it overrated? They said, it's just a house. And it's a house. I'm not going to tell you the history about Anne Frank or anything like that, but is that justified? It's just a house? I mean, Buckingham Palace is just a building, you know, so I don't know. But there it is, Anne Frank house. My tip would to be definitely get tickets online, because there's a sign there that said, sorry, sold out today, so it's very, very difficult to get tickets if you just show up here. And usually in the morning the line's like super long, so yeah, definitely get tickets in advance. Okay, that was Amsterdam. I'm done. I've been walking for 4 hours. It's 2:30. Let's go back to the ship, get some cake. Almost back at the cruise port now. My opinion about Amsterdam. It used to be one of my favorite cities in Europe, but it's not as good as I remember. It's been a few years since I came here, but it gets ruined by a few things, just like so many European countries. 1, so much graffiti, so much. It's so ugly, I don't get it. 2, homeless people everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, homeless people. People begging. I got asked for money like 20 times today, and it does get annoying. I know, like, people have to survive, but you know, you don't want to see it, basically. Number 3, you will have people come up to you in the street and offer you illegal stuff. Use your imagination. Number 4, smoke everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It stinks. I hate it. It's it's one thing that drives me crazy. People walking in front of me, smoking all over me. It's disgusting. Unfortunately, the streets are very, very, very dirty. Rubbish everywhere, trash everywhere. It's disgusting. It's not nice to see. And also, Amsterdam is very expensive. I don't think it's as expensive as Copenhagen. Maybe just a little bit lower, but very, very expensive place. Used to be one of my favorites, but it's all right. Back on the ship now. Quick first dinner, and then we're gonna have a real dinner later. Just a little first dinner. Back in the cabin now. It feels so good to come back to a clean cabin. So 4:30, there's a solo travelers meeting at 5. I do want to go to it, but I want to rest for a little bit, so I'm going to take a shower, change, and then I'll probably go to the meeting at 5. And then the show tonight is Magicians, and there's a lot going on tonight. Day 3 outfit: space t-shirt, grey sweatpants, and black and white Nikes. Let's go. Now 5:05, so I'm late for the solo travelers gathering. I missed the meeting yesterday because I was playing ping pong and I lost in the first round of the tournament, but try and make it the third day. Some people think that just because you travel alone, you stay alone for the whole time. Absolutely not. You really think you're the only one traveling alone? The last meeting on the first day, there was 42 solo travelers. So, you know, if you want to make friends in the same situation as you definitely can. If you want to stay alone, stay alone. Nobody's going to argue with you, but there's many opportunities to meet people.
The eyes on the screen. Number 4, what do you think is the time?
So I made it to the solo travelers gathering, but they had an 80s movie trivia. I wasn't even born in the 80s. So like I said yesterday, I'm definitely the youngest solo traveler on this ship. So they put us in teams, and I was like, guys, like, to be honest, I know, you know, I'm going to be no help at all. I'm going to be here for moral support. Now, I literally didn't know a single movie. Wasn't even born. It is now 5:45. We're about to set sail from Amsterdam. Sea day tomorrow. Ooh, it's magic. I still need to do the wave water slide sometime. Looks really cool. This is a place I came to on the first day, but nothing was switched on. It wasn't open. This is Galaxy Pavilion. It's the arcade area. Looks so cool. This is like a kid's dream. Another thing I've never ever done is escape room. They have them here. That's cool. All of the games in there, like, you have to pay individually, and I just asked her, is there like a pass where you get unlimited games? She said yes, but you can only buy it in the first 2 days, and it's $180, which is a good deal because some of those games are like $9 just to play once. So they've been making announcements for like 10 minutes for 6 different people. So that means they're either not on board or they're on board and their cars didn't scan. So maybe they're still in Amsterdam. Casino is not open yet. It can only be open when the ship is sailing. People are just lining up to lose their money. So I was walking through the atrium, and then I saw 2 older ladies that I saw in their solo travelers gathering, and they were doing another trivia. And they was like, join our team, and we literally won. We literally won. 2 older British ladies. We were just gossiping about people in the solo meeting. It was so funny, but yeah, we won. This is what the prize is. It's a nice bag. Winners. So of course I have an inside cabin. I think this inside cabin is bigger than the other inside cabins because I'm kind of on the end. So all the cabins go this way, this way, this way, and then mine is the other way. So we get a little bit more extra room. So my cabin and this one. So we're bigger than these ones because I think the other cabins don't have like this hallway area. So I think you would cut this off and then this would be your inside cabin. But I have this area plus the hallway there that goes into the bathroom. So I think mine's bigger than everybody else's. And soon I have a video coming up that's going to compare MSC to Norwegian Cruise Line because I've cruised on both of them in the last year. And one thing that Norwegian does that MSC doesn't do is both of them have solo meetings, but NCL has a crew member there, so it's hosted. And it makes such a difference because they've made a schedule. So this is the schedule for the solo travelers. So they're going to dinner together, they're going to the shows together, they have karaoke. So if you're thinking about doing a solo cruise but you think you're going to be on your own, stay on your own if you want to, but if you want to meet friends, if you want to do things with other people, you can definitely do that. They've literally made a whole schedule, and you go if you want to. Of course, you don't have to go, but there's dinner. There's so much stuff going on. It's 7 p.m. now, and there's 2 shows tonight of The Magician. So at 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Of course, I'm gonna go to the 9 p.m. I'm not that hungry now, but I am gonna go to dinner just because there's something at 8:30 that I want to do, and then the show at 9. So I don't want to be late for that. So let's go to the Commodore room for dinner. On board, there are 5 complimentary restaurants that I can go to. I don't care too much about specialty dining, but if you're interested, there's a steak restaurant, Italian, there's sushi, there's a lot if you want to pay extra, but I'm okay with the dining rooms. So this is a new one for me, Commodore. Welcome to the Commodore room, another beautiful dining room on board the Norwegian Prima. Today's meal started with the bread, and I had a Waldorf salad. What makes it a Waldorf salad is it has walnuts. The main course, the entree, was a barbecue mix grill, a bunch of different meats, and of course, French fries. My dinner finished with a chocolate s'mores brownie. Here is the menu for the Commodore. It was good. I think I didn't order the correct things because I wasn't crazy about any of it, but very good service, very good food, and another great dinner. If you're wondering about the menu, they always have like 5 or 6 options every single night, and then they have some specialty things like on different nights. So you can always get a steak if you want, you can always get pasta if you want, and then they would change it up. course, there's so many shops on board. One day I will show all the shops. There's a lot of stuff. Handbags, there's watches down there, there's jewelry, there's a lot you can buy. Tax free, tax free. Hello everyone. I don't even know the last thing that I filmed, but today was a great day. I didn't even make it to the magic show. I bumped into some people from the solo meeting and we had some drinks. We went to karaoke. We went to this Johnny Cash thing. Oh my god, the Johnny Cash thing was so good. They played some Johnny Cash songs. They played some really, really old songs and everyone was singing along. It was so good. It was amazing. I have a few clips of it, but I don't know what the last thing I filmed was. But quick review of Amsterdam. It's alright. It's alright. The only advantage is that the ship docks right inside the city center, so you can literally walk off the ship and be in Amsterdam. So take a tour or something, but apart from that, Amsterdam's alright. Nothing special in my opinion, but you know, if you're visiting for the first time, there's a lot to see. The Anne Frank house, a lot of people that I spoke to went to the Anne Frank house, but it's very difficult to get tickets, so get them online before. Definitely plan to do that if you want to do that, but it's just a house. Just a house. Anyway, tomorrow's a sea day. Tomorrow's a sea day. No idea what's going on, no idea what's happening, because I have a schedule. I have the freestyle daily, day 4, sea day. Don't know what's going on. I'll probably play a bit of ping pong, get beaten by some Chinese man again, but you know, today was a great day. I'm so glad to be on this cruise. I'm so happy to be on this cruise. If you're a solo traveler, don't worry, just do it. Just do it. Life's too short and you're going to meet people in the same situation as you. I just met so many people and we literally bumped into each other and I didn't film anything because we watched the Johnny Cash show and then we went to the bar and then we ended up in the club and you know, just cruising. It's just cruising. But today was a great day. Thank you so much. Norwegian Prima is beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, then hit the like just to tell me that you liked it and subscribe to see 8 more days because today's day 3 finished. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning and today was great. So thank you so much and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. 再见. Adios.